Thank you so much for the warm introduction, and good afternoon to everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank the University of Pittsburgh, the administration, the faculty, and everyone who's played a role in allowing me to be here with you on this very important day at this great institution that has had a profound impact on my life. Graduates, today is a tribute to those who believe in you and uphold you with their support. It's also a celebration of your hard work, your intelligence, your dedication, your perseverance, and your resolve to control the variables you could control and earn the right to be here today. But my heart is quickened to not only celebrate with you, but also share some reflections that I hope will strengthen your ability to stand strong and choose well when life presents you with variables you cannot control. I stepped onto this campus for the very first time in 2002. And youngins, that's 5 years before the first iPhone was released. And while that may sound like ancient history to some of you, to me, it feels like it was just yesterday. Back then, I was definitely 30 pounds lighter. I was a few steps quicker. If I'm being honest, I was a little arrogant. I had an ego that was about the size of the Cathedral of Learning. If you had told that young freshman surrounded by teammates who felt like brothers and coaches who believed in me that one day they'd have to call me Dr. Fitzgerald, I would have told you that they were crazy. My eyes were on the NFL. That was my dream, that was my goal. But as life has taught me, dreams evolve, and the road ahead is rarely predictable. It was 22 years ago, during my freshman year here, that one of the most unpredictable and painful moments of my life unfolded. I lost my mother to breast cancer. She was my rock, my encourager, my compass, gone. And what should have been one of the most exciting chapters of my life, a heavy cloud of loneliness, guilt, and helplessness descended instead. A variable I had absolutely no control, a variable that I had absolutely no control over, became a moment of my life that defined it. I share that experience with you for two reasons. First, to acknowledge a fundamental truth. The world beyond these walls isn't always kind or predictable, and learning to navigate its uncertainties will define your journey far more than any credential. And second, to tell you that it is this special place, the people of this community, the culture that it manifests, the values it cultivates in us, and the love it saturates us with, that shaped my life and prepared me for every high and low place since. And so, it is with deep humility and gratitude that I stand here today, not because I have all the answers, but because I've lived enough, I've stumbled enough, and I've grown enough to understand just how powerful this moment is for each of you. To mark the occasion, I want to share a poem that's always meant a lot to me. One that speaks to the heart of decisions, the path of purpose, and the courage to choose your future. I bet you all thought this washed-up football player would have quoted Kendrick Lamar, not Robert Frost. If any of you have it memorized, even if it was forced on you by some of your 8th grade English teachers, please feel free to join me for a few lines. The road not taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood. And sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair and perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So why do I love this poem? Because I get it. Also, it gets me. I've always had a little FOMO. I wanted to explore every path, try every lane, but sometimes life makes you choose. You stand at crossroads, stare into the unknown, and you take a step. And here's the truth. The poem isn't really about roads. It's about choices, the ones that define your sense of purpose. And I would argue that your sense of purpose ultimately defines you. It reminds us that life isn't about perfection. It's about courage, the courage to move forward even when the path is unclear. and the courage to adapt when the road ahead bends into the unknown. Because here's the thing, roads don't come with a guarantee. There's no signs that say success this way or failure ahead. There's no GPS reroute when things go sideways. That's why what you do today and why you do it matters so much. Some of you are the ambitious. You believe your purpose is clear and you have a plan to fulfill it. You're ready. Law school, med school, nursing, teaching, launching the next unicorn tech company. You feed on purpose and you're driven, maybe even addicted to it, and that's okay. Some of you are the wanderers. You're still figuring it out, maybe a tad bit anxious, maybe comparing yourself to where you thought you'd be, not sure where you're going or what your purpose is, and not sure if it matters or even exists. That too is okay for now. And maybe some of you are the safe travelers, sticking to what's familiar. Maybe because it feels safe, maybe because venturing into the unknown seems entirely unnecessary. Or perhaps because you're still walking the path that others have chosen for you. This too is okay for now. But your unique purpose won't be found walking someone else's path. And for those of you walking the path of purpose that someone else chose for you, make no mistake, that was a gift. Even if you resented it at times. They pointed you down that road because they believed it was best for you. But they knew then that one day you would have to choose your own road, your own purpose, and they're going to be so proud you created it on your own for your future. Right, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa? No matter who you are today, you're not alone. This journey isn't a race. It's actually a fulfillment. It's fueled by your decision. But a life of success or failure isn't always defined simply by your decisions. It's more often a manifestation of the why that underscores your decision making. And in my experience, the most powerful why is always driven by a passion to find purpose and meaning in everything we do. Over the years, I've been extremely fortunate. I've traveled the world, 109 countries to be exact. I've seen condors soaring over the heights of Patagonia. I've seen wildebeest thundering across the Serengeti, whales breaching in the Pacific, and I've stood feet away from a lion roaring on the savannas of Africa. And do you know what I realized? There's something sacred about watching a creature be exactly what it was created to be, to live fully in its purpose. The lion isn't comparing himself to the cheetah. He's not trying to live in the leopard's spots. He's not distracted. He's just a lion, fierce, focused, unapologetically himself. His purpose is in his DNA. That's what I want for you. Not to be a lion, don't get me wrong, but to be unmistakably you, to run your race, live your calling, own your potential, manifest your purpose. And as you do, remember, you don't run this race alone. Everyone you meet is carrying dreams and battles you can't see. So please be kind, be curious, be human, because this world isn't just about your story. It's about how your story weaves into others. It's about building something together. And together, we are stronger. And that brings to me something that I want to clearly highlight today. One of the most powerful expressions of purpose in your life will be the value you all place on relationships. Your relationships will be your greatest asset in life. The friendships you build, the mentors who guide you, the people you lift up, and those who you allow to lift you in return. These are the people who will shape your journey as much as any degree or job ever could. Invest in them, nurture them, be someone others can count on, and make space for people to show up for you also. When I look back on my life, the greatest experiences are all tied to people. Teammates who became family, coaches who saw something in me I didn't even see in myself, friends who were there in moments of both triumph and loss, and mentors who didn't just show up, but they believed in me. And guess what? That belief, that connection does not end today with graduation. Stay connected, check in, say thank you, be generous with your time and attention. You never know when a lunch conversation turns into a life-changing opportunity, or when a kind word you share becomes someone else's turning point. But let's not sugarcoat it. Even with these strong connections, understand this: life for sure will test you. There will be days like today, unbelievable, joyful, victorious, full of possibilities. And there will be days when the weight feels so heavy. When you lose someone, when the dream stalls, when the love ends, when the job disappears, when the diagnosis shakes your world. And on those days, what will matter isn't your GPA. It won't be your title or your resume. It will be your character, your purpose, your people. One of my greatest teachers was Muhammad Ali, the legendary boxer and social activist. His life was a testimony of purpose. When Parkinson's disease severely limited his physical abilities and speech, the very tools that had made him famous, he didn't surrender his purpose of fighting for justice and inspiring others. Instead, he adapted. Though his voice trembled and his movement slowed, he continued his humanitarian work, even lighting the Olympic torch in 1996, despite his visible tremors, showing the world that purpose transcends physical limitations. His determination to remain a global ambassador for peace and justice never wavered. He simply found a new platform to express it in. That's purpose. It's not a job, not a title. It's much deeper. And it's yours to find, shape, and protect. Because the world you're entering in is fast-moving. It will reward those who adapt with grace, those who stay rooted with purpose, who lead with compassion. Class of 2025, my hope for you is this: guard your time, your energy, and your heart as you discover your potential for a purpose-driven life. Tap into every gift you possess. Cherish your time. It's the one thing you have today with no guarantee of tomorrow. Invest in becoming the best version of you. Protect yourself from distractions. Prioritize people over possessions. As you cultivate your talents and sharpen your gifts, your purpose will become clearer. You'll make a deeper impact, build fulfilling relationships, and find pride in making your days worthwhile. When life inevitably turns upside down through broken relationships, health challenges, or unexpected changes, adapt and thrive. Harness the energy of change rather than resisting it. Value character over clout. Take risks that stretch you. Be brave enough to fail, and then humble enough to learn, and kind enough to lift others as you continue to rise. And when you get knocked down, get back up. This world needs leaders with clear vision, who unite rather than divide, who listen rather than shout, and who lead with love rather than ego. Class of 2025, it is your time to change the world. The future isn't a matter of chance. It's something that you all create. Go build it with vision, with heart, with fire, with purpose. Be the generation that brings us together. And as always, hail to Pitt.